Welcome to Rise Over Run. This is Piers Dormeyer. Today, we've got Ty King coming out of Chicago with PSAI, Predictive Sales AI. Thanks for coming on board, Ty.
Thanks so much, Piers. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's been going around the industry a little bit. You know, we started out, I think I had this thought that we'll have a whole bunch of contractors and then, you know, we'll kind of go through that and then we'll start sprinkling the show with a few others. And then I was like, man, I could have some fun with Ty with the AI thing. Just throw some real doozies at him and see what happens. But no, I think you have such an interesting business, and the times that we've spent together, I'm always amazed because inevitably, is it either yourself or Morris busts out a computer and you show me this like whole new way of looking at the world from a lead gen, internet marketing, weather, whatever. And I'm always like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just open up my thing and be like, here's something totally new, and it's not fake. It's not a PowerPoint slide. So thanks for coming on board. I wanted to totally explore really the science behind our industry, and I think that's you guys are way ahead from where I sit. But give us your story. Where did you come from? How did you find your way into the business?
Yeah, thanks. So started out in college. Actually, got started in high school. I started selling computers at the local little computer store my senior year in high school, and I thought, oh wow, this is really cool. So I decided to go to school for CS, computer science, at ASU, and really enjoy I enjoy the software, enjoy what that represents. Realized a couple years into school that, hey, I don't want to sit behind a desk and code all day. So I switched my major to business, but still stayed in the software realm. So out of school, I took a job at a computer retailer that's no longer in business, but really, was passionate about it. That company went out of business, so didn't have any debt, any responsibility. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to go off and start my own business. So, that was a while ago.
So you go to ASU. I assume you grew up in the Chicagoland area, or
yeah.
And then you're probably a little bit too old to be watching like Girls Gone Wild commercials and being like, Arizona, that sounds good, I want to go there. It's probably like December, January. No, computers, ASU, not Stanford, not MIT. I'm going to Arizona. Did that have something to do? Yeah. Seems like maybe I'll cut out the Girls Gone Wild part. I don't know. But I can see the draw.
So it was, but starting the business, we started out doing software development and projects, software projects, and that really got me involved with home service companies. So really started working with home service companies, and then as the web evolved and started to focus more on web-related stuff and more around lead generation and more around consumer lead generation, specifically within the moving space, I just became really passionate about diving into how consumers convert into leads for our customers. So we're building technology a while ago around consumer lead gen, home services, and moving taught us a lot. So that just continued to evolve, and we're a private little $30 million software company, and we just continued to evolve that. And it was really back in 2015, 2016, I thought, how can we really help our customers determine the quality of a lead the moment that lead comes in? How can we really see that Mr. and Mrs. Jones is going to be a better opportunity for my contractor customer, my mover, my HVAC guy, versus the Smiths? Not to say that the Joneses have more money than the Smiths, but they just need maybe better aligned, So that's when we started really building out AI.
So you guys have been you've been involved in the internet marketing lead gen business for a few years, early days.
So yeah, since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We've been doing internet marketing at an enterprise level within home services since 2003, 2004.
Around what time was it that the internet killed the phone book? At what point did people go from the yellow pages to Google?
That's a really great question. I remember sitting in meetings with customers, and the yellow page phone sales rep was sitting there, being all pompous and driving the meeting, and we're in charge, and you're just the little web guy thinking that things were never going to change. And it's you started to see that evolution around that time of 2005 to 2010, where everything just completely flipped on its head. And you saw the majors, the Dexes of the world, they had the opportunity to fully jump in and embrace it, and they didn't. And it was just always an afterthought. So it was really interesting to see that evolution of the yellow pages driving a lot of leads for our contractor customers, to the phone books being completely dead.
It's crazy, because it occurred to me, I just thought of this, but somebody came and dropped, I saw this little yellow book. It's about the size of a small paperback, right? Like a 200-page type paperback. It's about this big, on my steps, and no one goes up there. So I saw something. I'm like, what the hell's that? And I look at it. I'm like, man, that's cute. And then I was trying to think, and I was like, when was the last time I really saw one of those? And you go back to those videos where you used to see the strongmen, like the WWE guys, like Randy Savage, and he'd be on TV like tearing a phone book in half. And now it's like I could do that with the phone book that we just had, that cute little phone book.
It's amazing. I mean, just in the Chicagoland market, there were, I think, 5 yellow page books to cover Chicago, and now it's a cute little pamphlet looking thing today. So,
yeah. So you hear that, everybody? Ty King killed the phone book. Good job, Ty. all those wannabe wrestlers need to come up with new props. But yeah, cool. So you're in the internet business. You're revolutionizing the lead gen. Then all of a sudden, there's this this thing called the cloud that comes available, and all of a sudden, this computing power is available, and then all of a sudden, pattern recognition and AI becomes a thing. The challenge is, I don't think a lot of people really understand what that is. So you want to take a second, maybe talk a little bit about how AI applies to the business?
Yeah, so I mean, many people don't even really, we have many really smart, successful contractors that don't even truly know what AI means, artificial intelligence. And they think it's just something out there. I mean, we all use artificial intelligence every day. I mean, if you shop on Amazon, you're getting recommendations by Amazon of suggestions of things that you should buy, that you're going to be interested in. AI is affecting everything that we do. for the home services industry, we need to be using it, taking advantage of it. So within home services, there's 140 million homes in the United States. About 65% of those are owner occupied. You take a look at the segments and you take a look at, the baby boomers versus the Gen Xers versus the millennials, and the percentages of those. And you have to get smarter marketing to those different markets. So you take a look at Chicago and how many homes there are in Chicago, and you have a lead come in today. You need to be smarter and more sophisticated marketing to that homeowner, and really knowing not only what that homeowner is looking for, but how to sell to them. And AI is the key component of that, because it really allows you to have insight into does that homeowner line up? Meaning, I'm a contractor and I've sold to these 1,000 people, and this lead coming in today, how does that lead that's coming in today match up with the folks that I've sold to? What is that homeowner truly going to be interested in? How does that lead line up with the sales reps on my team? Who's it best aligned with? And that's what AI is solving. So it's not only helping you determine how well that lead fits with your business, but then what sales rep is best aligned with that lead to speak to that lead, and then what that homeowner may truly be interested in. So, answering all of those questions with AI, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it would seem that depending on the data that a contractor might be using in terms of the patterns, for example, maybe providing too much could lead someone down maybe a path that could go a little wrong. Have you had some of those stories where all of a sudden the contractor's coming in and saying, hey, well, according to this, it sounds like you really enjoy stamps, and I don't know, right? like, wait a second, where maybe the mismatch isn't so great, and all of a sudden you're kind of in that situation where it's like, okay, how do I backtrack out and rebuild some relationship and just start over?
Yeah. So, I mean, you bring up a good point. You can overuse the technology, and, turning over a lead where you have insight into who that homeowner is and what they're doing. And, you can overuse the data and overuse the technology. So you need to be very careful. And that's a big challenge that we have today is what is enough to truly help the homeowner and truly help the contractor and make good matches and make good connections, and what is too much information that it's just too much. So those are big questions that we're really being very careful and sensitive to make sure that we're doing good by the homeowner and doing good by the contractor, and really facilitating and helping both.
Yeah. How do you see the discipline of AI really evolving in the contractor space? What kind of comes next from where we are now? And you might have some evil genius plan, and you're like, I'm not going to tell you, but I mean, it'd be interesting. Throw it out there anyway.
Yeah. So what we're having a lot of success with, and we're just skimming the surface right now, is having all the data. You're able to look into a market, any market, and you're able to determine what homeowners best align with you as the contractor. So again, we'll go back to that example. We'll say, okay, I've seen 5,000 homeowners through the history of my business. And these 500 are the folks that really align best. So how do you, using AI, what we're able to do is we're able to look into the market. Doesn't matter the market. And we're able to see, using AI, who best aligns with the folks that I've sold to in the past. And then you're able to really, truly turn on marketing. So with restoration roofers, for example, we're doing that against storm. So we're able to get that storm swath. We're able to literally pull out homeowners out of a swath, and then we're able to build audiences, but it goes much deeper because there's 140 million homes, and there's 64% of those are owner occupied. You don't want to turn on advertising to the other 36% of the homes that are renters. You need to be turning on advertising to not only the homes that are homeowners, but also ones that best align with you. And taking it beyond restoration, that's what we're doing. So we're able to look into a market, and we're able to take those happy customers that you just served, and we're able to serve those up, those happy reviews and those happy projects, with the micro marketing, we're calling it, micro digital referral marketing, into the 104 homes in that neighborhood that you've just done. So you just jumped on the Jones's house. They're really happy. With AI, you can look and you can say, okay, this neighborhood, there's 300 homes in this neighborhood, but out of those 300 homes, you can pull out of the neighborhood an audience of 104 that perfectly fit with your customer base. And then you're able to turn on advertising that speaks directly to them. So we're just starting to skim the surface of that. And we're seeing really, really great results, and it's really awesome. I'm really enjoying it.
So in the past, you'd be spending the money to blast 300 people with the hope that those 104 come to the surface, but instead of spending all that money, you're able to just target that investment right where it needs to go. You can go even deeper than that, I'm sure. So just targeting, but then that's when we get into your stamps and stuff, right? Okay. Yeah, very cool. And I assume that people don't even know this is even out there. I would think the vast majority of contractors probably don't even know that these tools are even available.
They don't. Yeah, and that's they don't know that it's available, and then two, we work with small, medium, and large guys, and the larger guys that have a process and a system, and they have a marketing and sales machines. It's getting them to change and adapt has been challenging. The ones that are doing it are winning, are really winning. It's just you need to get it in your business. You need to be using it because it makes significant changes. It's the days, before GPS, we used to pull out a physical map and look at a physical map and figure out how we're going to get to our destination. This is like a GPS. So it tells you where to go and how to get there, and the most efficient routes based around, traffic and obstacles and all the things that you encounter. So it's the new GPS, digital marketing and sales GPS for the contract.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing stuff. And are you a sci-fi fan, Ty?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you,
Yeah.
so you know where I'm going. I mean, are the robots going to come kill us? Are we that close to the singularity? I mean, is it coming?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's only assisting those that are taking advantage of the technology, really embracing it. Um, and yeah, I think it's the ones that are in front of it are going to win. And if you don't, your competitors that do embrace it are going to outpace you because they're going to just that example of you said it. I mean, if you're not touching the 36% of the folks that don't make sense, um, you know, you're saving those dollars. You're making your marketing dollars more efficient. It's just
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, it's fun. I still think that there's somebody in a abandoned raisin processing plant in the Central Valley of California, and they're doing pull-ups and stockpiling like ammunition. They're going to come for you. They're going to be like, "There's no way he should have known that I like stamps." And how did he know? Um, it must be the Terminators. No, I'll stop with that. But it is pretty amazing. And maybe I've been like reading too much of the Elon Musk stuff where he's like, there's a 99% chance that we're living in the Matrix and this is really a simulation. All right, we'll see.
I love Elon.
Yeah, yeah. What are you gonna do? Um, well, it's all very cool stuff, and the platform and the enablement. I mean, anybody listening should check it out. What are your inspirations? How do you stay on top of things? What do you follow? What do you listen to? What do you read to keep on top of the technology and all that?
Lots of different things. So, fun book that I'm reading right now is Mind Astral CK. You can say that. It's the version of the guy that was the whistleblower for Cambridge Analytica. And the fall of Cambridge Analytica and how that company misused the data, overused the data in political marketing, and trying to be sensitive of what is the extreme of AI and how do you use the data intelligently, effectively, safely, truly benefiting people and not overusing it. So, I'm constantly diving into different perspectives on both sides of really, what we can do. Inspiration, I want to talk about that. You asked that question. What's inspired me lately is, through this whole COVID pandemic situation, what's inspired me is the contractors that have really stood up and said, hey, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to fight through this. I mean, you take a look at, we had some contractors in California, one specifically. California was the first state to go into lockdown. And he called me and said, hey, we were starting on a record year. Everything has come to a screeching halt. I need to do something now. I'm not going to allow this to close my business. What do we need to do? And he embraced it. I mean, he is now literally evolved and changed his business and added, virtual selling using AI and understanding who his customer base is, and just really evolved his business. He did, he's a small contractor, but he did over $1.5 million of business last month online. So it's just awe-inspiring to watch some of these guys fight through this and win. It's also been amazing to watch some of the contractors not willing to change and crawling into a corner. And it's you evolve or die. So It's just, it's been amazing. So both good and bad.
Yeah, I think we've heard a lot of those stories. I think one of the things that has surprised me the most out of this whole new way of doing business is how many contractors actually embraced it very, very quickly and were up and running in no time. They already kind of had this little part of their business. They already kind of had this process. It might not have been super ironed out, and they might have needed training on their staff. But I had a bunch of folks that came back and said, "Man, we couldn't wait for this to happen. This is great. We're engaging. The homeowners want it. The homeowners like it better. It's working out great for everybody. It's a little tougher to sell sometimes because you're missing some of the clues. But then again, your cost of acquiring a customer just went down a whole lot. You can do a whole lot more with a whole lot less. And I feel like the homeowner's changing too, right? And I think that this is accelerating. I think something that's going to in-home sales isn't going to go away, but I do think that there's going to be more and more of this virtual kind of an engagement. So,
Monumental point. You're right, Piers. That's the homeowner, the way the homeowner shops, the way they engage. They need choices. They need options. They need, they're communicating differently, and you need to be, as a contractor, in my opinion, you need to be flexible and provide those options, but still understand and know who they are. So you're spending the most amount of resources, time, money, resources towards the homeowners that best align with who you are as a business and what fits best with your organization.
Yeah, very cool. I always have to do this because, generally speaking, it's one of the more fun things I get to do on a weekly basis. But and it's usually laughing at other people's sorrows and misfortunes. But I always love to say, because behind everybody I talk to, someone's usually got a great war story where something just went totally wrong, flipped over on them. And do you have a good one for us?
I've thought about that, and I don't have a really great one lately. I would say that a funny. Let's just go back to a crazy story. Don't have any crazy customer stories. I don't have one for you, Piers. I'm sorry.
That you want to admit. That's what it is. And I know what happened here. There's a statute of limitations. You're a few months out. You're like, not taking the bait, bro. Not going to do it. Cool. But thanks again for coming on. How do people learn more about PSAI and what you guys do?
Yeah, thanks. You just go to predictivesalesai.com, sign up for a demo. We'd love to have a chat with you. Even if it doesn't fit with what you're doing right now, it's just good to be aware of what's available and what you should be doing potentially for your business moving forward. So, yeah, we'd love to have a chat with you.
Cool. Well, thanks again for coming on board, Ty. Great to have you. Please, if anybody's got any comments, suggestions, want to be on the show, it's Piers at riseoverrunpodcast.com, and we'll see you next time.